goodness, I'm like killing you for doing this. Ah. Hello, my cutie patooties. Welcome back to my channel. I have a special guest with me today. His name is Gavin. This is baby number 6. Say hi! He's being fuzzy. Today I'm going to be doing an update on what has been going on with my sick kids. Well, basically, what? You're not letting me do the video. You're being annoying. You want to go to with your brothers and sisters? Okay. Shut up. Alright, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle, and I am a mother of 6 children. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to stand up, sit down, I don't know, and talk to you guys and explain to you about a little bit of what has been going on. Now, it all started October 2017. No, I'm just kidding. No, it really did. My kid, my Gavin, my little one, my 1-year-old, he has been sick. He has been getting sick on and off since October. You know, he's had bronchitis, he's had the machine thingy, the whatever it's called, fevers, ear infection, pink eye, what else, strep throat. Poor baby, like for real. And then from that, none of my other kids were getting sick until one day Caleb came home. He was sick as well. And then all my kids got sick and they all had like a strep throat. But then everybody was fine. Everything was good. Then after Caleb, like, I guess they went back to school and whatever after the holidays and everything was going good. And then now I received, like now in February, I received I'm sorry, I'm like probably making no sense. Oh my god, I'm so horrible at explaining things. But in February, I got a phone call saying that my son Caleb, my 3-year-old, he had a fever of 105. So I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? I'm like, oh my god, I just sent my kids back to school, please give me a break. Anyways, so I went to go get him, and I went straight to the doctor. I'm like, I don't want to go back, but I shouldn't have done that. Like, I think you should give it like at least 1 or 2 days until you take him to the doctor, because then it's gonna be like nothing.
Yeah, there's something wrong, honey, just a minor infection.
So that's what I was told, and now I'm getting tired, so I think I'm gonna sit down. Alright, you guys, so that's much better. I am sitting down now. My back is killing me. I left off with Caleb. So he got a fever. I took him to the doctor. The doctor said it was a virus. So the next day came. That happened on Thursday. Then Friday, he still had a fever. He was having like crazy fevers, 107 fevers. But not Friday, I think, or maybe, yeah. Oh my god, it's crazy. I don't know. I don't remember. It was too much, you guys. I'm super exhausted still. And then Saturday came, and I called the doctor, and I'm like, you know what, the kid has developed the D. Okay, for me the D means diarrhea. I don't like saying that word. I hate it. So here I'm just like, say the D. The D. You got the D.
You got the D.
You got the D. That's it. I know it's something normal and everything, but I don't like to say that, so I just say the D. And so I told the doctor, hey, Caleb got the D. So, you know, obviously something more serious now. He has high fever. It won't go down. Like, I'll give him Motrin. It will go down for like, it will go down after 2 hours, and then we'll go back up after an hour. So he'll be like an hour off, like having a fever, and then it will go back up. So it was insane. I had to go Motrin, Tylenol. On Saturday she told me to take him to urgent care. She didn't have the information of the urgent care where I could take him, so I was looking for it like crazy in Google, and it turned out that they were all closed. So I was like, really? So strange. And she told me it was open, so I couldn't find one. So I did end up going to the emergency room, and we went to the emergency room, and as you saw in the video, Mr. Caleb decided to do his little movimiento naranja. So he was like putting on a show for all the doctors and patients and nurses, and literally the nurses were like outside looking at us like when we went into the room, and they were just like laughing and oh my god. So the doctor comes in and they're
like, oh my god, he's just such a happy child, like there's nothing wrong with him. He's like, just by looking at him, you know, it's a fever, it's a virus that's gonna go, it's gonna come off, because look at him. If he was severely ill, he wouldn't be dancing around putting on a show for all of us.
So I'm like, oh, great. And I was like, oh, but the doctor sent me here so we can do the flu test. Now, mind you, when I went there, I had like, I was scared, and I knew that there was a medication for the flu, and I was like all up for it and whatever to give him the Tamiflu or whatever it's called. The nurse did talk to me, the one that went to check him, and she's like, oh
No, we don't want to do the test and everything, you know. Right now we're hearing horrible stories of the Tamiflu, people dying, hallucinations, and people just trying to commit suicide. And
I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't want that for my child, but okay. It's so scary, like to hear the word flu, like we just imagine the worst. And he said,
I'm not gonna do the flu test. There's no point to it. He's like, either way, it's just the third day that he's had a fever. I don't think it will show. There's nothing we can do now. So, you know, we want to catch the flu in the beginning either way, so...
Anyways, so I'm like...
It's just a virus. You just have to let it run its course and, you know, wait for it. Just give him a lot of fluids, clear fluids, and this and that, and he'll be fine. But he does not need any blood work or anything.
And I'm like... okay. And then Caleb's there like jumping around and hooray, hooray. So yeah, even I will link down the video. I'll put the video somewhere up here so you guys can go watch to see what I am talking to you about, what Caleb decided to do in the ER. So Sunday came, and still that fever was crazy. And then I was just like getting so concerned and everything, and I will call the doctor every single day, and I'm like, listen, this is what they told me, and why did they tell me this? Are they just trying to scare me? I don't know, what are they doing? And she's like, listen, if you went to the ER and the doctors decided not to do anything and they told you this and that, you know what, I trust them. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, I trust them, Michelle, you should trust me too. Just give him a lot of Pedialyte, make sure he's drinking enough fluids, this and that. And I'm like, okay, I guess you can't argue with doctors. But anywho, he still had a fever for Sunday. I'm not sure if it was Sunday or Monday that I decided to do. I think it was Sunday or Monday that I decided to do the onion on the feet, like to put onion on your feet, you know, so that you can sweat the fever off. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to break the fever, no more fever. And it didn't work. It was such a sad moment, what I was going through, because I was like so desperate to find out what the heck is wrong with my child. What is wrong with my baby? I was crying every single day, and I was praying to God, like, what the heck is going on? Are you, I don't know, what is this? Like, are you like slowly giving me a sign that you're going to take him away from me? It was just the worst, you guys. I literally thought that I was losing my baby, and I don't know why I was thinking that way, because if you guys would have like seen him, the way he was looking, it was horrible. And me, I didn't know what to do to help him. Like, I wanted to fix the problem, and I wanted to make everything better for him, and I couldn't. So I just kept taking him to the doctor. I kept taking him to the doctor to check him, and I tried the onion thing 2 times I did, and then I ended up going to a different hospital because his temperatures would go up to 108. The highest temperature this kid got was 108. Like, oh, my throat hurts because I want to cry so bad, because it's like, how can doctors just say it's a virus when when you have a fever of 108? Like, it's so obvious that when your fevers are extremely higher than 103, 102 even, you should really go to the emergency room and get that checked. And if you go, you shouldn't be sent home. I don't know, I think that they should run tests on you or find out what's wrong with you. So when I went to the ER, to this other hospital, I went to a different hospital because where I had my babies, where I always take them, I'm so sick and tired of that hospital. Like, they literally don't do nothing. Like, if they need to see you dying in order for them to do something. So I went to another hospital and they were so quick. Like, I checked in and like I was sitting down, I sat down for like maybe 2 minutes. I was gonna go to the vending machine and get him something to drink, and they called me right away. And they just took me right away inside. They took his temperature, the weight, the height, and right away they brought me into a room. It was a very nice room. It had a television. I mean, I think all hospitals do, right? But it was a really nice TV, nothing like in the one I go to, St. Joseph's. And it was really nice. They had movies for children to watch, and it was just very nice. The nurses came in, they checked in, the doctor came in, they said, you know what, we're gonna do the flu test. We're gonna, do the nose swab, and then we're gonna also test them for other viruses. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, thank God, I didn't even have to ask for it. She just offered it to do it. So she did that. She stuck that thing up his nose. It was so horrible to watch. Poor my baby. And then they were like, we're gonna have to do... No, I'm sorry. So then we waited for that, and then she came in. She's like, I'm sorry it took so long. We were just, trying to figure out... trying to see what's going on, because everything came back negative. Like, he has no flu. We tested him for 10 other viruses and nothing. She's like, I think I would be more okay. I will feel more okay if it would have said, okay, he has the flu, because now we know what we're dealing with. But she's like, but there's absolutely nothing. So then she sent him to do an x-ray, a chest x-ray. And then after that, she's like, nothing. Everything looks fine and everything looks great. She's like, okay, I didn't want to do this, but I know he got blood work done, prior to that with his doctor, but I'm gonna have to do them right now, just to check anything more, and I'm gonna do a culture and all this. And I'm like, okay. And they also did a urine sample. Like, they took a urine sample, and poor my child, they took blood, they drew blood, and yeah, and then we waited for those results, and dear Lord, nothing. And while we were in there, his temperature did go up to 103. And I was like, you see, I'm not lying, I'm not crazy. It goes up really quickly. So they gave Tylenol. He had taken Motrin, but only 4 hours had passed since I gave him that, so they had to give him Tylenol. So the doctor came in. She gave me the results for absolutely everything. She's like, you know what, there's nothing that we can find that's wrong with him, so we're gonna just send you home, and it's just a viral infection, and if anything gets weird or something doesn't seem right, just come back to us. But everything looks perfectly fine in his blood work, his urine sample. We're doing this other test, but it does take 1 or 2 days. If we find anything absolutely wrong with him, we will call you, we will contact you to let you know what's going on. And I'm like, okay. And off we went. We left, and still it went on. The fever kept going. The child didn't seem any better. Nothing. But that's what went on, you guys. I took him to the doctor and everything, and nothing. So I think after that, on Thursday, my son woke up with a pink eye. So I took all the other children to school. I'm lying. No, I didn't. Everyone stayed home because I didn't want to take my kids out, to be honest, and I just wanted to take care of my baby, of my son Caleb. And then Christopher woke up with a pink eye, so I took him to the doctor, and I took Caleb as well. So that was day 8. 8 days with a fever. He still woke up that day with a fever. I took them to the doctor. I'm not sure if it was Thursday or Friday, but I took them to the doctor. The doctor checked Christopher. Yeah, he had the pink eye. He couldn't go to school. And then she was like, okay, that's 8 days with fever. She's like, okay, I'm very concerned. I'm gonna do more blood work. I'm gonna do this. And I was like, oh, he already got all of that done. She's like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, I took him to a different hospital. And then she's like, okay. Kid?
There's a package for you.
For me?
A huge one.
Hold on. Okay, you guys, so sorry I kept getting interrupted by my children. So yeah, the doctor was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna have to give him a shot. It's gonna be an antibiotic shot, and this should kill any bacteria that he has, or any infection that he has, eye infection, ear infection, any type of infection. So I was like, go ahead, please. Anything that's gonna stop him from being miserable already. So finally she decided to do that. He got his shot, and bada bing bada boom, that kid, he's happy. He's out there running, being himself, his crazy little self.
Makes me go nuts every single day.
And that's what happened, you guys. But little did I know, Christopher the next day went to school. I don't know why. He went to school on Friday, and he felt really sick when he came back. He said his stomach hurt. He said that he had a fever. And I was like, you have a fever? And I was like, oh my God, please don't tell me that. Don't tell me that Caleb passed the virus to you. So I took his temperature. He did have a fever. I gave him Motrin and called the doctor. Can we go tomorrow? We went to the doctor on a Saturday, the next day. And I also took Gavin because Gavin also woke up with a temperature. And I was like, no, everyone's gonna get the virus. I don't want no one to get the virus. I'm like, great. So let's just go to the doctor. Let's get it over and done with. Give him the shots. No, I'm just kidding. So we waited. The doctor called us in and she checked them. Michelle, she's like, I'm sorry. It's just a virus. Okay, like, I think she's like, she knows that I'm like so overdone and pissed that everything's a virus. So she, even like herself, she said it. She's like, even herself, she said it, Michelle, I'm so sorry, it's a virus. And I'm like, huh. Okay. So she said, but you know what? Because Christopher, I thought Christopher had the strep throat, like a strep throat or something, because he was complaining that his throat hurt as well. She's like, but you know what? So I told the doctor. So then the doctor's like, you know what, Michelle, but I would like for you to take him to the urgent care tomorrow. No, sorry, later on today. Can you please? So they can test him for the flu. She's like, I don't know why, I have a feeling he might have the flu. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, don't tell me that. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, is he gonna have to take the Tamiflu thing? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yes. I'm like, I don't want him to. I'm like, what do you recommend as a mother? You know, because she's a mom. And she's like, I will give it to my daughter. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So to be honest, like inside of me, I was like praying to God that he did not have the flu, neither him or Gavin. Gavin is my 1-year-old. Christopher is my 13-year-old. And I was just praying to God, please no, please no. And I went home and I waited for my boyfriend to come home so he can take care of the rest of the crowd and I can go into the urgent care. And it took a little longer than expected because my father ended up parking his car in a no parking zone and his car got towed, so they were running around like crazy. And I ended up going to the urgent care like around 10 or something like that, but very late at night. So I went in there and I was so nervous, and like the first thing that it says there walking into that thing was like, if you think or whatever that you have the flu, please wear a mask. And I looked at Christopher and I'm like, okay, you know what to do. So he put on his mask and luckily nobody was there. It was just us, and they brought us inside. They did the test. Obviously they asked questions and all of this and all of that, and I was like, ugh, I'm so sick and tired of telling everyone the same thing over and over. So they did the nose swab on Christopher, and the nurse Gavin, she kept torturing him. She was like, ooh, playing with his nose and everything, and then he would poke him like a million times, and I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, just stick it in there and take it out already. But she kept doing that until she just did go in, but not too far, like anyway. So then we waited for like 30 minutes to get the results back. The nurse came in, she peeked through the door. She's like, hey, okay, he has no flu. He has a flu. He has the flu. And I'm like, really? No. And she's like, yeah, I'm so sorry, honey. She's like, now what do you want to do? Do you want to give him the Tamiflu? And I'm like, no. I told her like straight up, I'm like, to be honest, no, I don't. I'm like, and I asked her and I'm like, what do you recommend? She's like, to be honest, I wouldn't. She's like, there has been so many things going on with that already right now that I really wouldn't give it to him. He's 13. He's gonna fight it off. It's gonna pass by quickly. He should be fine by Wednesday. It was Saturday night. She's like, it should be fine. He should be fine by Wednesday. And I'm like, oh my God. So it was a very devastating moment. I literally thought that I was gonna lose both my kids, Caleb and Christopher. I went home that day and all I did was pray, and I took care of them like all night long. I had my alarms put on for whenever, if in case I did fall asleep, which I didn't, and I would literally just be up checking their temperatures, making sure that they're down and not going up, making sure Christopher didn't develop any other type of symptom. And yeah, it went on like that till Wednesday. They were supposed to get Motrin at 4 a.m. and I checked Christopher. He didn't have a temperature, but since he had the flu, I didn't want to take a chance and like let it get high, so I just gave him Motrin. So I checked the baby as well. He did not have a temperature. I did take a risk with him. I waited 30 minutes. He did not have a temperature. Waited another 30 minutes. He did not have a temperature. And I kept doing that. I keep waiting to see. And no more fever, you guys. I was like, thank the Lord. But like throughout the whole day, I was still worrying. And I'm like, is he gonna get a fever now? Is he gonna get a fever now? Is he gonna get a fever now? And thank the Lord that he did not get a fever anymore, and he is out there right now playing, running. Well, not literally running, you know, baby step running. And he's so happy. As for Christopher, he did seem better that day, but I did continue to give him his medication. I think I just gave it to him at 4 a.m. and he was due to get it again at 10. So I went to drop off Caleb to school because he went back to school, came back, and I took Christopher's temperature before 10 and it was perfect. And I took it at 10 before I gave him the medication, and it was perfect. I'm like, let's give you just 20 minutes to check your temperature, because I was scared that it was gonna go skyrocketing really high, and oh my god. And it didn't. He did not get a temperature, so I kept waiting. I did the same thing I did to Gavin in the morning, and he never got a fever. So I was just so happy, and I'm like, thank the Lord. So I had to wait 24 hours from there, you know, to the next day so he can go back to school. Yeah, you guys, it has been the most exhausting, emotional weeks for me. It's just having to go through this. It is horrible. It is something I do not wish upon any mother. I wish that all these sicknesses didn't exist, but unfortunately they do. I am so happy and I am so thankful to God that my kids are better. My kids are doing good right now, and I keep praying that they don't fall, any of them get sick. And that's just basically it, you guys. I will keep continuing to make more video for you guys. Sorry, I just feel like, wow, like I feel really, I don't even know how I feel, but I don't know, just the thought of like thinking that something worse could have happened, because I was watching YouTube videos of the flu and all these other stuff, and I was like getting so scared, and I'm like, oh my god, please, no, please. But anyways, you guys, that is the end of my story. Sorry if it made no sense to you. Let me put it short. My kids were sick. They're better now. Hooray, hooray. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I know I can talk forever, but thank you. And if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you here. Join the family. And well, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And that's my dog scratching my door, everybody wants to come in my room. But yeah, you guys, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you did like this video. That will be all for today. I gotta go because my house is probably trashed now because all these little humans, they're running all over the place. All I hear is stomping and jumping and screaming and crying. Oh god. Anyways, guys, that will be all. Remember to stay happy, strong, and positive. To follow your dreams and accomplish them. Don't let no one put you down ever. And that will be all. Bye.